Hi guys, I'm Jessie of Crochet by Jessie and welcome to week 3 of my Spring Crochet-Along. Today's video is going to be looking at another section, the third section of this Crochet-Along blanket, which is going to be another one of the floral sections. If this is the first you've seen of my Crochet-Along, this is week 3, so part 3. So if you just go back in the playlist, you'll be able to find the intro as week 1 and week 2. As always as well, if you're not aware of this Crochet-Along, I do have a written pattern with the chart available as well, and if you use code YouTube50, you get 50% off. So without further ado, let's get into this week's part of the Crochet-Along. We are now on to week 3 of our Spring Crochet-Along. This week we're going to be doing another row of flowers, but we're going to be doing them in the opposite order. So I've got the alternate flower chart here. We're going to be doing the main colour, the tulips, in the light pink like we did in the first week, and then this other flower we're going to be doing in the dark pink that's just slightly off camera there. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to just do the first initial rows. You guys will see, based on the colour that we have got, what we are going to be doing next is just doing a series repeat of this section here. So what we are going to do, initially, it says that for the setting up, you need to have 3 rows. This bottom row is essentially the start of this double crochet. So instead of doing 3 setup rows, we're going to start from row 2 for this design. The reason we're doing that is because we don't need the initial single crochet row, because essentially we have got that already with what we've done here. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the green yarn. So I'll just get ready and show you guys what we're doing for the first row. First thing I've done is I've just done the single crochet in the front and back loop of that first stitch, and then just looking at this overall chart, because we're starting on the second row, which is using our green, the entirety of the second row is just doing single crochet. So we'll be doing single crochet going into the back loop only, as long as I just don't accidentally lose my hook out of the stitch. So yeah, keep doing single crochet, just going into the back loop only, and just do that until we get to the whole of the other side here, and then we just have to do that single crochet in the front and back loop of the final stitch. Remember, we always do that at the start and the end of each row. For the most part, I'm not going to show that quite as much because I've shown that quite thoroughly in the week 1 tutorial, as well as a lot of week 2 from last week. So we're just going to be saving a little bit of time. You guys know what we do at this stage. It's always going to be that first stitch and last stitch is single crochet in the front and back loop. This is how it looks when the first row is done. It's looking great. We've got the single crochet in front and back loop for the first stitch and the last stitch, and the rest is just single crochet in the back loop only. I am going to refer from this, I know this is the first one that we did today, but I am going to refer to it as the second one just because that's what it says on the chart. And if you are starting it as a new section, you do need the initial setup one. We just already had that previously done for us. So what we're looking at next, we're starting row 3. The entirety of the row you'll see is marked with X, so it's a row of double crochet. It's using the cream yarn, so I'll just get that joined now. We have our single crochet in the front and back loop of the first stitch, and then we're just going to be doing double crochet where we drop down into that previous row of the cream yarn. You're going to keep doing that all the way until you get to the other side before we do that final stitch, again the single crochet in the front and back loop. So keep doing this. At this stage, the first foundation rows and the final foundation, well, first foundation rows and then just the final rows to round up the section that you're doing are always going to be the most basic ones out of the Crochet-Along videos. So these ones you don't really need to look into quite as much because it is a little bit more self-explanatory. So just keep doing this and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Row number 3 is done. So the row of double crochet has erased the green section. That's absolutely fine. We're going to be doing, for the 4th row, we're going to be doing the exact same thing we did with the green, where we're just doing a whole row of single crochet in the back loop only, except for the first and last stitch using the green yarn. So we'll just get that all set up. So it's time to work on row number 4. So I've done the first stitch, that single crochet in the front and back loop. And again, for the 4th row of this week, it's just single crochet going into the back loop only, all from this side to the end, and then obviously we're going to just do that final stitch, that single crochet into the front and back loop. So again, I'm just going to go ahead, finish this row up, show you guys what it looks like, and then from the next row onwards you're going to start to really see this week's Crochet-Along design working up in your project. Row number 4 is done. So from this row onwards, you're going to start to see the bottom of the stem of the flower detail starting to come through, because we're not going to cover all of the green for our next row. So it's time to get onto row number 5. We're now onto row number 5. You'll see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochet to start with. This row is going to always start with 6 and end with 6 double crochet. What we do in between is just going to be a matter of what needs to be repeated based on how big you want the project to be. This entire swatch here is only 1 pattern repeat, and the blanket that you've been seeing in my example is 5 repeats. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then have 2 single crochet going into the back loop only, 1 and 2. Once that is done, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 double crochet, just dropping down in that previous row of cream yarn. And the 12 is the 6 finishing this repeat and then the 6 starting the next repeat. So that's why as you go along, it will always be 12. But then when you're actually finishing either side, or the side you're starting with, the side you're ending with, it will always have 6. So I'm just going to finish up the first 12 double crochet and then show you guys what it looks like. So that is the first 12 double crochet done. We're going to do another 2 because we're just repeating the same pattern for this section. And then it's going to be a further 12 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. This is how it is looking so far. For this section we have 3 flowers, so we're going to have another repeated process that's going to leave the little stem for the 3rd flower as we're just wrapping up this row. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until I finish the 12 and then I'm going to show you guys how to finish up this next row. This is how it looks after I've done my second lot of the 12 double crochet. We're just finishing up and we're doing the last repeat and then those 6 double crochet. So we've got 2 single crochet going into the back loop only. And then the final 6 stitches before the final singular stitch, is 6 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. So that's 4, oh, nearly there, 5 and 6. And then we have got our final stitch, the single crochet in the front and back loop. We're then going to chain 1. I'm going to grab my scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. And then that's row 5 done, so let's get started on row 6 now. Row 6 is essentially the opposite of what we did for row 5. So I've joined using that first stitch. We're going to do 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. So just make sure I'm not missing any stitches, because that's the thing, it needs to be very specific. You guys don't want to accidentally drop any stitches. So that's the first 6 done. We're then going to drop down, do 2 double crochet. The next thing we're doing is 12 single crochet, so I'll just make a little start and then I'll continue once I've gotten to the next section. That is the 12 single crochet done. We've got another 2 double crochet dropping down to that previous row of the green to do. And then once we have finished that, we then have a further 12 single crochet going into the back loop only. I'm going to finish this off and then show you guys how we wrap up this row. This is how it is looking, guys. We're just finishing up this row. So we've got the 2 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the cream, not the cream, the green yarn. Me looking at green yarn, still calling it cream, honestly. So we've done those 2 double crochet. Then we have 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. And then we've obviously got our final stitch that we always have, which is the single crochet into the front and back loop. So I'm just going to do that now. We're then going to chain, grab some scissors, cut the yarn and pull through. That is the end of row number 6. So the next row, using the cream yarn this time again, is row number 7. We're now on to row number 7. So row number 7, the first thing we're going to do is 4 double crochet. So we're going to be working on building the stem again like we did in week 1. Okay, that's the 2nd, 3rd and 4th done. The next thing according to the chart is 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. This is what's helping build up the overall stem, so we're starting to work towards that section. So I've done 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then because we're doing the finishing off the pattern repeat and then starting the next one, it is going to be 8 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. And then what I'm going to do, instead of taking you guys all the way through this row, I'm just going to show you how the repeat works, start to work up on the second one, and then let you guys finish it and show you what it will be looking like when you're done. So just finishing up this section, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet. So we just need to have 8 for this part. That is the 8th one done. So then we're doing 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. And then what I'll do once I've finished the single crochet, I'll tell you guys how to finish the row and then show you what it looks like once I've finished. Okay, so I've got up to this stage, this is what it's looking like. For the rest of this row, you're going to drop down and you're going to do 8 double crochet. You're then going to do 6 single crochet, 4 double crochet, and then that last stitch, the single crochet in the front and back loop. So I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second. That is row number 7 done. So you should have it looking like this for 1, 2, 3 of the flowers, and time to go on to row number 8. For row number 8, we're going to start by doing 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, we have 6 double crochet where we're dropping down into that previous row of the green yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need to pull my yarn, so I've still got some more of that to work with. That is the 5th, and then the 6th. So once that's done, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochet to do. And once we've started the second repeat, I'll then just show you guys what to do to finish it off like I did in the previous row, and then show you guys what it should look like once it is done. Okay, so I'm just finishing this off now. Final stitch there. And then we're going to be doing the next 6 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the green yarn. And then once that is done, I'm just going to get you guys to finish this row off yourself, but I will still explain what you need to do. Okay, 5 and 6. So that is what it should look like, guys. For the rest of this row, you're going to do 8 single crochet in the back loop, 6 double crochet, 4 single crochet, and then that final stitch, the front and loop single crochet. This is how it should look once row number 8 is done. We're really developing the overall stem of the actual flower and then just working up the leaves here. So within the next, I'd say 5 or 6 rows, we'll basically be finishing up using the green yarn, and then we'll get onto the flower petal sections. But for now, let's get on to row number 9. I have joined by doing the first single crochet in the front and back loop. To start this row, you're going to do 2 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the cream yarn. And then once that is done, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochet going into the back loop only of the green yarn. What I'll do is I'll just do a run through of the first and part of the second repeat for this row, just because with the flower design you are always going to have 3 lots, except for obviously the actual top of the design, but even then I will still go through that with you guys and just still give you that little bit of freedom just to finish the rows off yourself. So we've done that. We've got the next step, which is going to be 4 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. So I'm just going to do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after that, we're going to be doing another 10 single crochet going into the back loop only for the green yarn. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll show you guys what to do to finish off this row once the 10 single crochet are done. So just a few more left to do. Make sure I'm not throwing my yarn around in the process too much. Okay, so this is how it should look so far. From this point, you're then going to have 4 double crochet, 10 single crochet, 2 double crochet, and then that final single crochet in the front and back loop. Row number 9 is done. From this point, we're going to start to branch slightly outwards for the stem and the leaves. So let's get on to our next row, which is row number 10. Starting off row number 10, we've got our first stitch done. We're doing 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, followed by 2 double crochet, because we're just starting to separate the stem and the leaves. Once we've done that, we're doing another 2 single crochet in the back loop only. And once that's done, we're then doing another 2 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the green. That's how it's looking, followed by another 2 single crochet in the back loop only, and then another 2 double crochet. So that is the first section for the first flower pattern done. We're then doing 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. 2, 3, and 4. We're then doing 2 double crochet and 2, 2 single crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 single crochet, and then 2 double crochet. Okay, so this is how it's looking. You're just going to continue doing the same thing to finish this up. You're going to do 4 single crochet, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, and then the single in front and back loop to finish off our row. This is row number 10 done, so let's get on to row number 11 next. I've started up row number 11, done that first stitch. We're going to be doing the opposite, so we're going to do 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 4 double. So I'll just go through that slowly as we are doing it. Don't worry, I don't expect you guys to remember it quite as quickly. So we've done the 2 double, then we're going to do 2 single crochet, 2 double crochet. It's essentially the opposite of what we were doing for row 10. So 2 single, 2 double, and then 2 single, and then of course the single are in the back loop only for this. So this is how it is looking. We're then going to do a total of 4 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn, and 4, there we are. And then again we're going to be doing 2 single, 2 double, and then another 2 single, of course still in the back loop only, 2 double, and 2 single. So this is how it should be looking so far, guys. To finish off this row, I'll let you guys do this yourself. It's going to be 4 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, and then the final in the front and back loop. This is how row number 11 looks now that it's done. So we're going to get on to row number 12, and then from the next few points we're going to be finishing off the leaves, finishing off the stems before we get on to the flower petals. So we're now starting row number 12. We're going to be doing the opposite to row number 11 again. So I'm just going to talk you through it as we do it. 2 single crochet going into the back loop. Once that is done, 2 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the green yarn. We're then doing another 2 single crochet, and then another 2 double crochet, and then again 2 single crochet. It's quite repetitive, this section. And then another 2 double crochet. So 1 and nearly there, 2. We're then doing 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. Make sure it is only the back loop, otherwise you'll have to undo the rest of your row if you realise that coming down into the next section and there's nothing to work into. So we've done that, and then we're going to be doing 2 double, and then 2 single, 1 and 2. Oh, there we are nearly. 2 double, 1 and 2, 2 single, and then 2 double. So that is how it should look. Just finish off the row. You're going to be doing 4 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, and then the single in the front and back loop. And I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. This is row 12 done. So having a look at the chart, row 12 is the last for the leaves on either side. We're just going to do one more repeat for the actual stem before we get onto the flowers. So this section from this point, we're not going to need the green. We're only going to need it for the middle parts. So let's get on to row number 13, which will be using the cream yarn again. We're on to row number 13. Start off by doing 2 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the cream, then 2 single crochet, After 2 single crochet, we're going to do another 2 double, 1 and 2. We're then going to do 2, oh, nearly accidentally undid that one there, but we're going to be doing 2 single crochet and then 2 double crochet. We're then going to do a further 2 single crochet, and then we're going to do 4 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the cream. And in a second I will show you guys what it looks like so far. There we are. This is how it should be looking so far for you. We're then going to do 2 single crochet in the back loop only. Oh, try and finish that one. There we are. Here we are. 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, 2 single crochet, 2 double crochet, and then 2 single crochet. This is how it looks, and to finish off this row you need to do 4 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, and then the front and back loop single crochet to finish. Row number 13 is done, so we're going to get onto the last row using our green yarn, row number 14, and just work a little bit more on the main stem for the flower pattern. Row number 14 is just starting. We're going to start initially by doing our first 6 single crochet going into the back loop only of the cream yarn. And then once that is done, there we are, we're going to then drop down and do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. We are then going to go all the way across to this next point here, which means we're going to have to do a total of 12 single crochet going into the back loop. What I'll do is I'll get to this point, get the next 2 double crochet done, and then let you guys finish off the row yourself, but I'll of course just quickly explain what you need to do to finish off. You're just essentially going to be repeating what we have been doing so far for this row. That is the joy with the pattern up till this stage. You are essentially just repeating yourself 3 times overall. So there we are. We've just done those 12 single crochet. We're going to drop down, do 2 double crochet, and then once that's done it will look like this. The next bit we're going to do is another 12 single crochet in the back loop only, 2 double crochet, 6 single crochet in the back loop only, and then the single crochet in the front and back loop. So I'm going to finish that off and then show you guys what it looks like. Row 14 is done. This is how it's looking. We're done using the green yarn for this part of the crochet along. It will appear again later because it is a pretty consistent colour, but from now we're going to be focusing on the background colour, the cream, and then our 2 different pinks for the flowers. So let's get on to our next row, row number 15. So we're now on to row number 15. I've done the first stitch already. We're going to be doing 4 double crochet to start, all dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. Right now we're just going to be working on creating a base that we're going to have the flower petals start from the next row. So that is 4 done. We're then going to do 6 single crochet going into the back loop only. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're then going to do a total of 8 double crochet, dropping down into the cream again. And yeah, you'll see from this point onwards, that is where the base of the flower petals are going to begin. And we just want to have it nice and wide so we can have the full extent of the design for the flowers for it. So after this, we're not going to be seeing a lot of green for a little while. And then we're going to just be finishing up the flower petal section, and then that'll be it for this week's part of the crochet along. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through and double check my numbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We're then doing 6 single crochet going into the back loop only again to create the next lot where we're going to have our petals go on to. So we've got that done, second repeat nearly done. I'll let you guys finish off this row. It's going to be 8 double crochet, 6 single crochet, and then another 4 double crochet at the end, and then the single crochet in the front and back loop. And then I'll show you guys, as always, how it looks once it's done. Row number 15 is done, so it's time to get onto row number 16, where we're going to be starting to use both of our pink. We're starting row 16, so that is going to be a total of 4 single crochet and then 6 double crochet. So I'm using the light pink yarn to start with, but I'm going to be starting to do some colour changes mid-row because I'm changing the colour of my flower going from A to B to A to B. So we've got our 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. We're then going to be doing 6 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the green yarn, and we're just going to be finishing up. This is the base of our first flower. So nearly there, just finishing the last one. Okay, that's all 6 done. And then having a look, you then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've got 8 spaces, and there's going to be 8 single crochet, but because we're going to be changing our colour, we're going to do 4 in one colour and then 4 in another. So 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to get a little bit of leftover tail and cut our yarn, and then we're just going to swap our colour to get ready for the next section. Okay, so I've got my dark pink yarn. I'm just going to pull it through the loop, and then I'm going to do my 4 single crochet using the dark pink. I always try to weave in the ends, so if you were watching week 1's video, you'll see I try to do that as I go on, just because I feel like it just makes life a bit easier. So keep doing that until we get to this stage. So we've done the next 4 single crochet. We're then going to drop down, do 6 single crochet, going, oh no, that's double crochet, ignore me. There we are. Also need to be able to actually do the stitch. So 6 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the green yarn. So we're making the foundation of this flower as well in this section. There we are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 single crochet, again using the dark pink. And then what we'll do, I'll finish this row, I'll show you guys what it looks like after, but you're going to change your colour here and have your light pink again. You're then going to do 4 single crochet, 6 double crochet, 4 single crochet, and then the last single crochet in the front and back loop. This is row 16 done, so it's time to get onto row number 17. Time to start row number 17. We're going to be doing 2 double crochet to start. 1 and 2, that's how it should look. After you've done that, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochet. And what's nice is this row is really going to start to help separate the overall flower designs between all 3 of them. So total of 10 double crochet. We're starting to branch out on either side of the flower as well, just to widen it so we can have more of a design form on there. So that is 8, 9, and 10. We then have a total of 4 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of cream to do. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So finishing off this row, once you have finished that last of the 4 double crochet, you're going to do 10 single crochet up here. You're then going to do 4 double crochet, and then you're going to do 10 single crochet and 2 double crochet, and then that final single crochet in the front and back loop. And I'll show you guys what it looks like when it is done. Row number 17 is now done. We are officially working just now between the cream background and then the pink for the flowers. So let's get on to our next row, row number 18. To start off row number 18, we're going to do 2 single crochet. If I can grab my yarn properly. There we are, 1 and 2. Followed by 10 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the pink yarn. This is what we did so we could broaden the overall flower design. So it went from being 6 across to 10 across by just gaining an extra 2 stitches on either side. So I'm just going to finish off this repeat here for this first initial main flower. And then once I've done that, we'll work on our single crochet again. I think I grabbed the wrong part of yarn to work with, so I think I'm going to be having to start that again soon. Okay, 9 and 10, and that's how it's looking so far. We're then going to do 2 single crochet because we are doing 4, but we're going to do the first half in this pink. Once that is done, we're then going to cut, and we're going to go and swap over to the dark pink. So I'm just going to join that in the same way that you do every time. So you're just going to pull through the loop. We're then going to do 2 single crochet, And then as we're doing the single crochet in the back loop only, I'm just trying to crochet those ends in at the same time just to keep them a little bit more secure. Once that's done, you're doing another 10 double crochet into this flower repeat this time. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to get partway through this, then I'll talk you guys through what we're going to do for the rest of this row, and then I'll let you finish it off and I'll show you guys what it looks like once it is done. So here is how it's looking at the moment. You're going to continue doing your double crochet. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left to do. You're going to do 4 single crochet. Once you've done the first 2, you're going to change to your lighter pink or your secondary colour and do the next 2. You're then going to do 10 double crochet, 2 single crochet, and then the single crochet in the front and back loop for the last stitch. We have just finished off row number 18, so it's time to get on to row number 19, which is another row just using the cream yarn. With row number 19, we're going to have 2 double crochet to start. 1 and, make sure I'm still in focus, 1 and 2. After that, we have 10 single crochet going into the back loop only for the pink. And to be honest, it's going to be a heck of a lot of just repeating that for this row. So we're just going to keep doing all the single crochet going into the back loop only. And then once we get these next few done, just finishing off this last one. So that's how it's looking. We have 4 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn to work on. That's just separating our flowers apart. Once this one's done, I'll just show you guys how the rest of the row will be looking. So we've done this. To finish this row off, because this one's a little bit more basic, I'll just talk you guys through it so you can finish it off. You're going to do 10 single crochet going into the back loop only, 4 double crochet, 10 single crochet going into the back loop only, and then 2 double crochet, and then the front and back loop single crochet to finish off. So just do that for the rest of the row, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Row number 19 is done, so it's time to get on to row number 20 next. We're now on to row number 20. So row number 20 is 2 single crochets, followed by 10 double crochet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the first few, and then I'm going to let you guys finish off this lot of 10 double crochets. Okay, so I've just done the 10 double crochet. We're going to do 2 single crochet because this section is 4 single crochet, but we're going to be changing our colour partway through. So I've done the first 2, cut the yarn, and then we're going to grab our second colour that we're using and just attach that. But what we're going to do, we're going to do the 4 single crochet to finish it off. So we've done one, we're going to work the second one, and normally if we were doing the same pattern as this tulip, we would just start doing the double crochets now, but we're actually doing a slightly different design, and you'll see from this point it goes inwards. So we're going to do another 2 single crochet going into the back loop only, followed by 6 double crochet dropping down into that previous row of the dark pink. So that's 3, and then if I can do the stitch right, 4, just move my swatch over all a bit, 5 and 6. So that is how it is looking. I'm going to do my 4 single crochet going into the back loop only, and then to finish off this row you're going to swap your colour. You're going to do in the next colour, the light pink equivalent, 2 single crochet, 10 double crochet, 2 single crochet, and the final one is the front and back loop single crochet. So just finish that off and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Row number 20 is done. So we've only got a few more rows left to do for our flower designs. So let's get on to row number 21. Row number 21 is going to be a pretty repetitive row again because we have essentially done that row quite a few times throughout the design. We're going to do 2 double crochet, so it's X, so 2 double crochet. Then we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochet, 4 double crochet, 10 single crochet, 4 double crochet, 10 single crochet, 4 double crochet. So I'm going to go through the first repeat, which is 2 double crochet to begin with. 1 and 2. Once that's done, we're going to be doing 10 single crochet, just going in the back loop only along the top of a flower. From this point, we only have one extra row of pink to add to the tulip and then 2 more rows to the secondary flower. And then those designs will be done and it will just have the extra detailing at the top to do. So we are well into this week's crochet along. We're not going to have too much left to do. And then I'm really excited because we're going to have a different pattern chart, which I'm so excited for you guys to see next week. So we've done those 10, then we're going to be doing 4 double crochet going into that previous row of the cream yarn. That's 3 and 4. We're then doing another 10 single crochet. So you're going to make a start on these 2. It's important to note you are going to have the little overhang, so that is intentional. It is needed to be like that for the design. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue those 10 single crochet in the back loop only. You'll then do another 4 double crochet and then 10 single crochet in the back loop, 2 double crochet, and then we're going to do that final single crochet in the front and back loop. I will finish it off and then I'll show you guys what it should be looking like. This is how it looks with row number 21 done. So we're going to get on to row number 22, finish off these 2 tulips, and then we're only going to have a couple more rows for our middle flower until all of the flowers are done for this week's part of the crochet along. So what we're going to be doing for the start of row number 22, we're doing 2 single crochet going into the back loop only, followed by 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. We're then doing another 2 single crochet and then another 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. That's how it's looking. So another 2 single crochet, and then a final 2 double crochet. There we are. That is how it's looking. We're then going to do 2 single crochet going into the back loop only. And we're going to get our scissors. I put mine very far away for a second, which is not too smart. We're going to cut our yarn, grab our secondary colour. So I'll just pull that through the loop. We're then doing 2 more single crochet into the back loop only. Just make sure you don't mess up as much as I am doing right now. Sometimes I really lose the ability to crochet. Okay, 1 and, oh my goodness, guys, I'm jinxing myself, I'm making it worse. Okay, so we've done the 2. We're then doing 10 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the darker pink yarn. And so it's literally 10 double crochet, dropping down. You're going to do all the way, finish off this section. And then once that's done, you're just going to repeat in this part what you did here. We'll have the 4 single crochet, 2 in dark pink and then 2 in the new colour. You're then doing 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, and then a single in the front and back loop. So I'm going to finish that off and then I'm going to show you guys what it will look like. Row number 22 is done, the tulips are done, so we've only got 2 more rows in this colour. So we're going to have the cream row and then the last row of the pink for the actual colour. So let's get on to row number 23. We only have a handful of rows left to do now. Okay, so starting off, we're going to do 2 double crochet, dropping down to that previous row of the cream. And then once we've done that, we're doing 2 single, then another 2 double. That's how it's looking so far. We're doing a further 1, 2 single, and then 2 double. And you'll see that's the top of the tulip. It looks so good already. 2 more single, and 2, and then we're going to do 4 double crochet. 2, 3, and 4. So for this last part of the row, it's going to be fairly simplistic. You're going to do a repeat for what we just did here for the end of the row. We're going to do 10 single crochet going along the top of this darker pink flower. I'm just going to do the first few stitches and I'm just crocheting the loose ends in as I go on, just because it makes life a bit easier. So you're going to finish your single crochet in the back loop here. So you're going to do a total of 10. This is how it is looking. So we've done those 10 single crochet. We're going to drop down, do 4 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then to finish off the row, do 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, 2 single, 2 double, and then the single in the front and back loop for the final stitch. This is row number 23 done. Both tulips are done. We have one more row left to do for the top of this flower. And then after that, we just have a few finishing rows, and then that's this part of the crochet along, week 3's part, finished. So I'm starting off with the light pink. You don't have to, but I prefer to start and end with it just because that's what we've done so far with this section. So you're going to be doing single crochet all the way up until this stage, and then we're going to change the colour for this section. So just keep doing single crochet until you get to this point here. So this is how it's looking. I've got to this section here. I'm then going to get my scissors, cut my yarn, and then I'm going to find the dark pink yarn because I need that for the top of this section here. So we're going to attach. You're then going to be doing a total of 4 single crochet going into the back loop only. I'm trying to weave in and crochet in my ends whilst I am doing this, just to keep them a bit more secure, and it means I don't have to properly weave them in later. So next you're going to do 6 double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the dark pink yarn. That's 2 done. And then 3, 4, 5, and 6. So to finish off this row, what we're going to do, you're going to do another 4 single crochet using this yarn. You're then going to swap colours to the light pink and then just finish off the row with single crochet. We're then going to do that single crochet in the front and back loop for that last stitch. Row number 24 is now done. We're just going to be doing the final 3 rows just to finish up everything for this week's part of the crochet along. So let's get on to our next row, row number 25. We are on to row number 25. We're going to be doing double crochet up until we get to this stage here. So what we're going to do then, loop over, drop down to that previous row of the cream, and just keep doing that up until you get to the middle flower. So keep doing this all the way up to this stitch here. I've done all of the double crochet that I need to do, so now we're at this top section of the flower. We are going to do a total of 6 single crochet going into the back loop only, just along the top of the flower. The flower is completely done at this stage as well, so we're not going to be doing anything else on top of it. So just finishing that there, and then you're just going to finish off the row doing double crochet again, and then the final stitch, the single crochet in the front and back loop. Row number 25 is done. We have 2 more rows left to do, so we're going to just be doing 2 very, very basic rows, and then we're done with this week's part of the crochet along. Looking at row number 25, it's just a row completely of blank squares, which means we're just doing single crochet along the entirety of the row. And then after that, we're just going to have a row of double crochet. So it's not too much left to do at this point. So just keep doing what I'm doing, keep doing single crochet going into the back loop only, all the way until the end. And then the final stitch is the single crochet in the front and back loop. So just keep doing that, and then we'll have a look when it's done. Row number 26 is done. So we're just starting the last row, row number 27. It is using the cream yarn, and we are literally, after doing that first single crochet in the front and back loop, just doing a row completely of double crochet, dropping down into that previous row of the cream yarn. So just keep doing this up until you get to the other side of the row and you have finished it all off, and then we'll be done with this week's part of the crochet along. Row number 27 is done. That means that this part of the crochet along, week 3 of the crochet along, is officially done. So in our next week, we're going to be looking at a completely different pattern that has not yet appeared on this crochet along, and I am so excited for you guys to check it out. But yeah, that is it for today. With week 3 being done, hopefully you should have a piece looking about this big. So yeah, you should be at about this height, but hopefully a lot wider in your project. And yeah, we're getting really good progress. Next week, I cannot wait because we're going to be moving on to the duckling part, which you guys have not done yet. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are. As always, if you're enjoying this crochet along or my channel in general and you're not subscribed, then please do consider being subscribed, as well as pressing the bell to be notified when my next video is up. Thank you guys as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.